What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today I've got an unboxing for you of the brand new iPhone 12 mini. So I think this is one of the most exciting phones of this year's release lineup because it is going to be very popular. It comes in at a size that is very comparable to like the old and nostalgic models of Apple's lineup, but at the same time has the latest and greatest processor, a great main camera, and a lot of features that are actually carried over from the Pro model, but also at an entry-level price point into their flagship lineup for this year. So it's going to be interesting to compare the sizes of this, the Apple iPhone SE 2 that came out earlier this year at a price point of $399, and also just what I think about the size overall, as well as some questions that people have had, including the battery life. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and also leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I also just unboxed the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so I'm going to drop a link down below, which is pretty much the opposite of this phone right here. I think this one even fits into the screen of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So if you guys want to check out any of the videos of whether the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro, the Pro Max, and also the Mini that you're watching right now, then that is all going to be linked down below because we have tried to cover everything. So just jumping right into it, this is available in 5 different colors, including the ones that are available for the iPhone 12, and these include white, black, red, blue, and green. And honestly, I don't really have a favorite color for the iPhone 12. You can almost say I'm pretty boring and I'll just go for like a white or a black and put like a silicone case on it. That has been my preference over the years. But this right here is the white color, so very neutral and simple. The packaging, as you can see, is very thin, as you would expect out of this year's lineup. It just says iPhone on this side, and the only areas where there's like plastic is on the initial layer. So let's just slide this up and get right into it. So there you have the iPhone 12 mini, and I've got to say I was expecting it to be very small, but it's not quite as like mini as I expected it. Similar to what I thought about the iPhone 12 Pro Max. As soon as I opened it, it was just like so big. From first impressions, it is super light. This phone comes in at a weight of 133 grams, and for comparison, this iPhone right here is about 20% heavier at 162. So as you can see, it has like the satin finish on the side and the glass on the back, and the front does have the ceramic shield that is what Apple introduces here, whereas the back is, I believe, a little bit more durable to cracks. But in terms of scratch resistance, all these iPhones are pretty much the same, and if there was any improvement, it was relatively minimal because I was filming all my other iPhones and they did have scratches after a couple days. Honestly, I really like the feel of this. This is a little bit small considering I consume a lot of media on my phone, but it just feels so good in the hand. So let's just put that right there. And we're gonna compare the size in the second to the iPhone 12 and the iPhone SE second generation. But here you have your paperwork designed by Apple in California. Just put that aside as well. And you also have the USB Type-C to Lightning cable. And one thing that I am a bit curious about is how well the Apple Magsafe will fit on this device, because it is so small and it will probably take up like the whole surface area of the back. But there you go. And aside from that, you don't really have anything else to look at in the box. But let's just jump right into the Magsafe thing. So just putting it on, as you can see, it does fit just like any other would, but the gap on the side is much smaller. But you do get 15 watts of charging, and you pretty much have all of the same features as the iPhone 12. You have the same main camera as the iPhone 12 Pro as well. It is a 12 megapixel f1.6, and you also have the ultra-wide camera that is an f2.0. And the ultra-wide camera is the f2.2, and based on my comparisons, I found that there was an improvement in this year's quality for the ultra-wide camera compared to the iPhone 11 line. So I think before we set it up, the next thing that people are really wondering is just how small is it? So here I've got the iPhone 12 and also the iPhone SE second generation, which has the smallest screen in the lineup. It is a 4.7-inch display. It's kind of Apple's entry-level price point at the price of $399, which I think is a great model to have. But you can see here that the iPhone 12 mini is actually smaller than the iPhone SE second generation in terms of its overall form factor. So I think this will be an extremely popular model for Apple. And here you can see the comparison between the 5.4-inch display and the 6.1-inch on the iPhone 12. So let's just go ahead and actually boot this up and go through the menus and give you my first impressions on how it actually feels to use. So just from a typing experience, if you came from any previous generation iPhone, I think this will be very quick to get used to, as expected. It doesn't feel like extremely small, but it also has like a bit of a cute form factor to it. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like this model that much or not really care about it, but after like seeing it and being able to hold it, my first impressions of it are very good so far. So we're just gonna fly through these settings here, and I'm gonna install like my widgets and all the other stuff after I finish making this video, but I just wanted to give you guys like a first impressions and a comparison of like display size and all the things that you might be wondering if you're thinking of picking up the iPhone. So now that we're in the main menu, you can probably see that the iPhone SE2 does have a lot of space on the top and bottom because it is using the same form factor as the iPhone 8. But compared to the iPhone 12 mini, you're not only having a smaller real estate that makes it easier to grip with the squared off edges, but the display also goes side to side and the screen is flat. But as you can see here, there is significantly more space overall to be able to go through social media, watch videos and everything. And it also has an OLED display. So this year Apple decided to use the same display on the iPhone 12 Pro and on the iPhone 12 for the most part. The one on the iPhone 12 Pros can get a little bit brighter, but it is an OLED, so the screen quality is going to be better than on the iPhone SE2. But price point is also going to be a huge factor to discuss, whether you want to spend $399 or $699 and if it is worth it. But I think for any like power user who just wants to have the same form factor as before, I really like the size of the iPhone 12 mini, and I don't really have much to say beyond that. Like just holding it, it just feels so light and easy to take around, slide in your pocket and all that stuff. I would probably recommend putting like a case or skin on it because I feel like it will be relatively easy to drop due to its light weight. But the only bigger concern that I have about it is the battery life. And this right here has an estimated 2200 milliamp hour battery, and with 5G support and being one of the smallest 5G smartphones in the world, one of the biggest things that people have noticed in the iPhone 12 Pro is that the battery life is about like 2 hours worse, which is relatively noticeable. So in my region, I don't really have like full 5G support yet, so I don't really care about that. But if you're in an area with 5G, then this phone might run out relatively quickly, which is an obvious concern and maybe a reason to go ahead and purchase the larger model, which is the iPhone 12. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out all my other iPhone 12 and 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, 12 mini coverage. As you guys probably noticed by this point, I've like jumbled all the names all over the place. It is almost a bit confusing, but the more choice for consumers, the better. So I'm excited to test this out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.